A new year, a new level, and a new chapter in the journey of Luka Navarro. After a season of proving he belonged, Luka Navarro returned to the court with even bigger expectations. Now competing at the next stage under the bright lights of the NBL, the competition was stronger, the pressure was heavier, but Luka looked ready for it all. This time, he wasn't just another young prospect trying to earn respect. He was becoming the centerpiece, the energy of the team, the player his teammates rallied around, and the face of the squad, ready to make noise. And when opening night arrived, Luka Navarro wasted no time making a statement, blowing past defenders with a burst of speed that left them frozen, finishing through contact with control beyond his years, elevating above the crowd, turning routine plays into unforgettable moments, making reads that had scouts leaning forward in their seats, and opponents looking at each other, wondering, how did he just pull that off? It was only the first game of the season, but Luka was already reminding everyone why the basketball world couldn't stop watching. And with 5 seconds left in their season opening game, 94-94, ball in their possession, crowd on their feet, scouts in close attendance, who else would they call on other than Luka Navarro? And he came through, securing the dub for his team in their season opener. In a moment, with all the pressure and all the eyes on Luka, he had came through. The season was barely underway, and Luka was already dominating. Every possession, every fast break, every jump shot felt effortless. He was playing faster than the competition, seeing the court before anyone else, making defenders look ordinary against his skill set. And the scouts noticed. Not just any scouts, NBA scouts. Whispers turned into serious discussion. This kid could be a lottery pick. He's got size, skill, and the IQ. He's still 16. Imagine what he's going to be doing at 18. He wasn't just scoring, he was creating. That made everyone in the gym stop and watch. Opponents tried to adjust, but Luka always found a way. Every highlight, every buzzer beater, every insane play only added to his reputation. And the games piled up. The narrative became clear. This was a young man who wasn't just living up to expectations, he was exceeding them. Luka, already on the radar of NBA, already the face of the future, by the midpoint of the season, Luka was making a statement on a league-wide scale. So good, in fact, that he ranked 11th in the scoring in the entire NBL. An incredible feat for a sophomore still growing into his game. But Luka knew better than to get caught up in the stats, the rankings, and the headlines. Because looming ahead was the number 6 scorer in the league, Quincy Porter. Porter wasn't just a name on his stat sheet. He was one of the most prolific scorers in the NBL, a player who could take over a game in an instant. And Porter, well, he got straight to work. Every drive, every mid-range jumper, every play was a message and a reminder of why he belonged in this conversation and why he could dominate at any level. This was more than just a matchup. This was a test. And Luka, well, he had to be ready to prove why he had held his spot among the league's elite. But Porter was looking to do the exact same. The block, a clean rejection, and just like that, something had clicked. It was as if that single swat unlocked a new level for him. On the very next possession, Luka attacked the rim with confidence, flowing through the defenders, finishing tough buckets that looked effortless. But Porter wasn't going down without a fight. He was the NBL's number 6 scorer for a reason. Quick, crafty, and capable of taking over any game. Every time Luka made a play, Porter answered. Pull-up jumper, Porter hits one from deep. Drive to the rim, Porter finishes through contact. Every possession, a statement. Luka knew he couldn't just out-athlete him. He needed control, precision, and timing. The back and forth continued throughout the whole game. Porter answered, hitting tough shots, refusing to give ground. Quincy Porter was unstoppable on this night, pouring in over 50 points. Pull-up jumpers, drives through traffic, deep threes, the kind of scoring display that make defenders just shake their heads. But for Luka, it didn't matter because it was just scoring. He was controlling the game. He finished the night with 28 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals, showing off the complete package that the scouts had been raving about all season. He set up teammates with precision passes, created space where none existed, and attacked the rim when it counted most. Every big bucket, every well-timed assist, chipped away at Porter's dominance, turning what could have been a one-man show into a team victory. Even as Porter poured in an eye-popping total, Luka led his team to the win, proving he wasn't just a scorer, he was a floor general, a game changer, and a player destined for the next level. With the win secured and another statement game in the books, Luka's sophomore season was only just the beginning to tell his story of his rise. Scouts were taking notes and teams were taking notice, and Luka continued to sharpen every part of his game, his shot, his vision, his defense. But just as Luka was proving himself, a new challenger emerged, Brayden Exum. Fast, physical, and relentless. A player built to push Luka to his limits. A rival who could challenge everything he's built so far. Next season, it won't be about just stats or wins or highlights. It'll be about who can rise under pressure, who can dominate when it matters most, and who will come out on top when two unstoppable forces collide. Luka's journey is far from over. Exum wasn't just athletic, he was explosive. Every step off the dribble, every jump, every cut screamed speed and power. For Luka, this wasn't just another game. This was a test, probably his biggest up to this point. Exum could push him physically, challenge him mentally, and force him to elevate every single aspect of his game. Two different styles, two unstoppable forces. One calculated, precise, and dominant in control. The other, explosive, unpredictable, and relentless in attack. And when these two collide, every possession, every drive, every shot will matter. Because this isn't just a matchup, it's a battle of wills. Luka, Brayden, and the rivalry that could define the season. From the opening tip, Brayden Exum sent a message. Every drive, every pull-up, every dunk screamed dominance. It was the kind of performance that made the gym go silent for a moment before erupting with every highlight. He was fearless, explosive, and relentless. Opponents tried to slow him down, tried to contain him, but he refused to be contained. Every possession was a statement, every basket a warning. He moved like lightning, finishing through contact, pull up from impossible angles, showing the type of athleticism that made you question what a 17-year-old could even do on the court. But by the first quarter alone, it was clear. Brayden Exum wasn't just competing, he was dominating. Meanwhile, Luka, he wasn't showing much. For stretches, he deferred. But while he took somewhat of a backseat, Brayden Exum settling for a three here and there, but never really finding his rhythm offensively, it was a moment of observation, trying to understand and how to slow down a player like Brayden. And Brayden, he didn't let up. Every possession, every burst of speed, every creative finish reminded the world he was just as good, maybe even better than Luka at this stage. And it seemed like every time Luka tried to get a little bit of momentum going for himself, a dude Brayden would do something to come back 10 times harder. He attacked the rim with fearlessness, dunking over multiple defenders, hitting contested pull-up jumpers and showing the kind of creativity that leaves opponents scrambling. At one point, he even caught Luka slipping and put him up under the rim. Exum wasn't just responding, he was pushing back with everything he had, testing Luka at every turn, forcing him to raise his game and proving why this rivalry was about to define the season. Braden continued to attack, to score, to prove why he was one of the most lethal scorers in the league. By the end of the game, Braden Exum dropped an insane 74 points, leading his team to victory and setting the basketball world on fire and reminding everyone why he was a generational talent in the making. The loss stung, but there was no time to dwell. Luka Navarro's journey continued. He was headed back to the NBA Academy for a high-profile event, a chance to showcase his skills in front of scouts, coaches, and the world. And during the measurements, another sign of his growth. Luka was now 6'8", longer wingspan, stronger frame, and the kind of body scouts dream about. But as he prepared, he froze for just a second. An old face and a new place. Luis Suarez, not just here to showcase, not just here to impress. He was here to challenge Luka, to prove himself, and to settle unfinished business. The rivalry was reigniting, this time on an international stage, and Luka Navarro didn't have a moment to be shocked because Lewis was already moving. He wasn't going to wait for anyone to react. Exum pulls up from deep, swishes it over the defender. It wasn't scoring in bursts. It was defense in full throttle. It was a chess match played at 100 miles per hour. And through it all, one thing was clear. Luka Navarro and Luis Suarez weren't competing for points. They were defining the standard of the game for everyone watching. The game had become an all-out war, a clash between two of the youngest international stars known right now. After trading baskets, dodging defenders, and feeling the intensity of Suarez's athletic pressure, Luka finally found his moment. One step, a quick crossover, and suddenly the lane opened. Every shot, every drive was a statement, a reminder that he wasn't just a scorer. He was a complete offensive force. He mixed it up. Pull-ups, finishes through traffic, sharp passes, forcing defenses to react, and giving no space for mistakes. It was as if all the pressure and the defensive challenges had unlocked something inside him. One possession became two became a run, and suddenly, while pushing it on a fast break, Luis decided to pull up for a three. Bang! That would put his squad down by only 2 points at this point in the game. With just over 30 seconds left, who else? Luis Suarez coming down, tying it up. And with time ticking down, 5 seconds on the shot clock, Luis takes it to the rack with a smooth floater over the defense, putting his team up by a bucket. 4 seconds left on the clock. Who else are they going to give it to? Luka coming through with the last second shot, but it's no good. The sting of defeat was real, but the game didn't care about emotions. The court demanded preparation, focus, and a mindset sharper than ever, because across the court, there was another familiar face, Brandon Exum, a rival he had battled before, a player who had already tested him in ways few others could. And this time, the stakes felt even higher. There was no time to dwell, no time to feel defeated. Another challenge was already here, and Luka knew it was his turn to respond. The game became a war of wills, back and forth scoring, defensive plays that made the crowd hold their breath. Every possession mattered. Every basket was answered. Every stop was countered. Luka and Exum were pushing each other to levels they had never shown before. And then Luka found his rhythm. That one block earlier, that surge of energy, it unlocked his offensive flow. Step back jumpers, mid-range pull-ups, creative finishes through traffic. Luka was asserting control, reminding everyone why he was a top prospect. But Exum refused to relent. Every bucket Luka scored was answered with athletic drives, rim-rattling dunks, and pull-up threes from the rising star. The scoreboard was tight, the tension was high, and every highlight told the story of the two unstoppable forces colliding. It wasn't just skill on display, it was heart, strategy, and pure willpower. The kind of rivalry that could define a season, the kind of battle that will be remembered long after the final buzzer. The battle raged until the final buzzer. Every possession, every shot, every defensive stand, a testament to two of the most explosive young talents in the league. Two of the most explosive, skilled, and athletic players he had ever faced on the same team. Exum with his relentless drives and jaw-dropping athleticism, and Suarez with his crafty finishes, deep range, and unstoppable mid-air creativity. Hope y'all ready.